there are three artists that I'm very close to. That I would say I'm very close to. The first one is Salawa Beni. I got to know Salawa Beni through my sister, Biscuit. Mr. Okawo Shaba, who was the owner of Biscuit. Salawa was like a godmother. She was a godmother to Salawa. So then she was the one that was taking care of Salawa. Salawa just left the marriage with Kolinti. So through her we met, and because she's quite close, not so close now, but very close then, and I was also close to Biscuit, so she became my adopted sister. So I'm close to Salawa as my sister. Then I'm close to Shino Peters, because when I started, I said when I was private people, I was covering society. So we used to go to clubs, we used to go to events. So we used to go and see Shino Peters at Stadium Hotel. So when we got there, because we were the one, there's no internet then. So it was society reporters and entertainment reporters that really shaped the career of artists. So normally when we get there, because we are reporters, it will create a corner for us where it will ask us to. So we became quite close. We will assist in promoting him and all that. To the point that when he wanted to release an album, he would get a place at Sheraton. They invite some of us, myself, Kule Bakari, Fad, Dele Mamadou, Gwega Okegbenro, Kaode Ajala. All of us were like a team. We used to follow Shina Peters then. But I'm closer to Wasiu than all of them because I've known Wasiu for a long time. I grew up in Surulere. I grew up in Ekololu as a young boy. When Wasiu left, I think Lagos Island or something, he moved to Ekololu. Then there is one guy called Spinero who stays with the family on Ekololu. You understand? And Wasiu stays there. So as young when we used to say ourselves, but we were not very cool because I was my father then, we were like Ajabota, they don't allow us to move out. When if I come from school at children's school there or the other somewhere, I would just be at home. They don't allow us to move around and all that. But we see ourselves, young people in the street, we wave to ourselves and all that. Eventually, by the time I became a reporter, somebody I've known, when I was in Unilag, before I became a reporter, when I was in Unilag, I used to go there. I remember then that I used to leave Unilag. I would go to Lagos, and Wasiu then was an upcoming artist. It used to be like, all these young artists that you see. When you go to the show there, people will fight and throw bottles and all that. So I used to go from Unilag then to go to. I remember one particular day that I went for one of his party near Onola, and they started this fight. Somebody would just start one fight, and they were throwing bottles everywhere, and I have to be in one place, use a chair to cover my head. And I was telling myself that my parents said I should go to Unilag. I left Unilag. I went to listen to Command. And if I die here, that would I say, but we'll be very close. I remember then in my hall, there was one guy that was supporting colleagues then, and there was a time we always argue because though I like barista, but I was a Wasiu person. And then when I became a journalist, the relationship got strengthened. I believed I would be able to make contributions to his career and all that. And he himself, at every opportunity, tried to say, this guy, he may be a journalist, was my friend. Remember that even when we were still very young journalists, he did a very, very good album then, where he mentioned my name and said my friend, and that's how a lot of people got to know me to say, Mayor is Wasiu's friend. And we've been friends like that. Every critical point in his career, he will call me because I'm one of his friends that he has known in the media that will come up. And most times too, everything that I'm doing, he tries to show that same reality back to me.
You've been close to him for like how many years?
No, since I was a young boy. We're talking about when I was in my 70s. Since the 70s. I've known him since that time.
Okay. Then I was also going to ask, what do you like about him? What are the
About him?
Yes, qualities.
Oh, one thing I love about him is his loyalty. Wasiu is a very good man. He's a lovely man. He's a very loyal friend. People say he's arrogant. Yes, to some extent, yes. But the problem, two things that I like about him is that Wasiu is a damn good professional, extremely talented human being. He has one of the best IQs people that I've ever met with high, strong IQ. Yes, because you see, as an artist, it's always difficult for an artist to remember songs that they've sang a long time. It takes a very talented artist to remember. But when you ask Wasiu to sing his first album that he did in 1980, Modele Olua, he will sing that album word for word without missing a line. It's amazing if he's not a musician, he would have been a professor or something, or a scientist or something, because, and that is the key to his success, because most of his fans now were people that he started with. I said that we used to go to Saleko where we perform, and people, maybe you perform for somebody in maybe 80s or something, and the guy had a naming ceremony. The guy has traveled to America now, and the guy is a big boy now. When Wasiu says the guy, Wasiu will remember that naming ceremony that he did in the 80s, and he will mention the name of the child that they were doing the naming ceremony, and that thing is to pick out people. He's a brilliant guy when it comes to, and he takes his career seriously. When you discuss with Wasiu concerning his career, if he doesn't agree with you, he will argue with you. He will tell you, no, this is not that. You will argue. Immediately you have a superior argument, he will take what you have told him to heart, and he will do more than you have told him. And he knows how to reinvent himself. I remember when hip-hop first started, and so it was before the sort of people that were singing hip-hop. If you remember carrying American tips, you remember consolidation, a lot of things that he will. I remember then when he has a concert in maybe on one campus or another, he would dress like you would think he's a student on that campus. He knows how to reinvent himself, and at every point in time, he has good guys around him, and they package him well, and he knows what he's doing. And it's not easy. He has been a real superstar since '84 when he released Tala '84, and he has been consistent since '84 till now. It's only himself and King Sunny Ade that have that privilege of reigning non-stop for that long. But secondly, he's a very loyal guy. I tell people, and I say, look, sometimes people say, sometimes you get to spray Wasiu, they will not look at your place, you will be spraying money, they will not look at you, he's so arrogant. No. This is a man who is extremely loyal, and I will prove it. There's a show that I do every year called Couples Night, and Wasiu is the one that used to headline it. He's the one that will perform whenever that artist. Several times he has traveled, he has come back from abroad to come and do that show pro bono without collecting anything. I remember that there was a time, don't you, if you remember that when Benson and Edge's Golden Tones used to be the biggest promoter of music in Nigeria, then Wasiu was the biggest act. So they took him on a tour of UK, and he told them, without me even knowing, that look, there is this show that I must come back to do the show. They already put it in the contract. So he traveled from London to Nigeria to do Couples Night, went back. But the one I did that I will not forget was there was a particular year that he had a relapse in the lungs surgery that he did. But a lot of people didn't know. I didn't know. Percy just called me. Percy was the manager then. Percy just called me and said, I should hold on for Bobo. We call him Bobo. He said, oh, Lord Mayor, hold on for Bobo. And then he explained to me to say, Mayor, there's a problem that I have a relapse in that surgery, and I have to see doctors in Canada, and I'm in Canada, and unfortunately, they are telling me that they cannot see me until the following Tuesday, and our show was Sunday, and I was sorry and all that, and I said no, that this is health matter. Like, there's no big deal to it. Now, what I would do is that when we get to the hall, we used to do it at the Nitric Coliseum. That's how we do it every year. So I said, when we get to Coliseum, when we want to do the show, before we start the show, I will announce to everybody, because Wasiu have always, for about almost 20 years that we've been doing it now, Wasiu have not missed any year. So I said, I will just announce to them to say, look, Wasil cannot come this year because of some circumstances beyond our control. I said, I will tell people straight up, so there's no problem. Just take care of your health and make sure that everything is okay. And we said, okay. And they said, oh, he appreciates it. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. And we left. Then suddenly, on a Thursday preceding the show, he just called me from Canada and said, me or blah, 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 that I've looked at that thing and I'm going to come back for that show. I've told the doctors that I have to go for the show. So I'm going to leave Canada tomorrow, which was a Friday, and we'll get to Lagos on Saturday. I said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't need to stress yourself like that. When you want to do a medical checkup, don't do that. Don't worry. I will tell people that you cannot make this show. He said, no, I should not worry that I will come. And that's what he did. He traveled on a Friday from Canada, got to Lagos on a Saturday, did the show on Sunday, went back to Canada on Monday. I mean, there's no loyalty that is that. It's not a show that you say, okay, maybe the money they wanted to pay him is a huge amount of money, so they don't want to miss money. It's pro bono. He's not collecting any money from us. But it's loyalty. That's how we test loyalty. That, oh, this guy is my guy. You understand? He's doing this show. I'm supposed to be there. I must be there. So he's very, very loyal to his friends. If you are not his friends, I don't know about that though. But I know that those who are his friends, if you consider you to be his friend, he will do anything for you.
Let's talk about what sort of a person?
A very diplomatic guy. People say I'm arrogant, but it's not arrogance, it's self-esteem. I know who I am. I don't take nonsense. Because I'm not a good politician, or because I'm not a politician, I'm not contesting for election, so I don't lie to people. I say it as it is. People may see it as weakness, but it's actually strength. Because one of the things people say is that, look, you know where you stand with Mayor. If Mayor doesn't like what you have done, he will give it to you straight up. Yes, I used to be short-tempered. I get angry easily, but as I get older, I was able to manage that. I don't get... I'm not as hot-tempered as I used to be. I'm more matured now. But I am a straight-up person. I don't do best. What you want to see is what you get. And I think that's the way you should do. Let everybody know where you stand on everything. You don't need to lie to people. You know, I don't take nonsense from people. I don't suffer fools gladly. But I'm also loyal. I got this far because of people that I know. So I'm extremely loyal to my friends. I remember that one time somebody told me that Mayor will not write about his friends. Mayor will not do that. And I said, no, I won't do that. Because I have a relationship with these people. So it's not everything that I hear that I will write. Even when I was a reporter, when I was a society reporter, there are some people I don't write about. Because I know that they will feel, they will feel offended, not because they don't want me to write, but they will just believe that, look, you have access to me. So if you think I've done something that is not right, you tell me. Not that you go and write about it and try to show people when you can tell me that it's your friend, that I see you every time. You have not told me, but you've written it for everybody to read. So I'm extremely loyal to my friends. And I got this far because of my friends. I'm just an average journalist, but God has been kind. I live well. I have a lot of friends. And my friends know that Mayor is loyal to them. So they are also loyal to me.
Let's talk about, so just a minute. Let's talk about some of your friends, some of those you were able to keep over the years and all that, and how easy and difficult has it been keeping with them?
Yes, one of the things that I tell people, if you have a big man in quotes or a very successful person as a friend, or somebody that you know or you look up to, what is important is for you to keep that relationship. Don't put them under pressure. Don't have entitlement mentality. You only lose that important person. In other words, if you know an Alhaji Aliko Dangote, or you know a Makarenuga, or you know a Femi Otedola, or you know a Tony Elumelu, if you keep harassing them for one problem or the other, they will run away from you. Only when it is extremely important, you understand, that you reach out to them. That is the only way they will never say no to you. When you knock, they will open the door for you all the time. So the secret is that don't have entitlement mentality. Don't take advantage of that friendship. You understand? Value the friendship. Give them their space. For example, Femi is somebody that I've known since I was a reporter. When I was a reporter, Femi used to come to my office and prime people and we would sit down all the time. I've known Femi since when he was living in his father's house on Adenero Gosaya. I've seen him move from a regular guy to become a multi-billionaire. From when he was living with the father to force out that he got off Adenero Gosaya. Then from Adenero Gosaya, he moved to Ilupeju. From Ilupeju, he moved to his house in GRA. From GRA, he moved to Ikoyi. I've known him. But it's not every time that I talk to Femi. I can call him now. If I call him for some time and he doesn't pick his call, I leave him. When he's ready to talk to me, he will call me. I may not talk to him for a long time. I remember that I didn't see Femi for a long time. And people used to, I won't say anything. I won't say, oh, Femi is my friend. We don't answer for a long time. Or I will get angry and say, oh, how will I call him? Or I send a text to him, he will not answer. No. If he doesn't have time to answer me, that's it. When he has time to answer me, he will answer me. And that's how it works. And it is only then that they will value that friendship. They will know that you are not taking advantage of that friendship. You understand? Yeah. And they will do things. I remember that when Dili Momodu did his book launch, you understand? I got there late. So as I was walking in, Femi was leaving. And he saw me and he said, Mayor, Mayor, he called me, Mayor, long time, we've not seen for a long time. I said, yes, yeah, it's business. And he said, how come we have not seen ourselves for a long time? We must see. Where should we see? I said, anytime you want us to see. It's okay. Will you see me on Wednesday? I said, okay. And where's that Wednesday morning? He called me. He said, we have an appointment today. I used to come. I said, of course I'm coming. And I went to see him in his office. That's how I see. I went there, discussed with him. And because we've known ourselves, he escorted me into his office. The first thing he asked me was, how is Bossa? Bossa is my first daughter, who is married now, lives in America. And I said, oh, Bossa is fine. Bossa just had a baby, so I'll be traveling to America. I think that following week or 2 weeks for the child dedication and all that. And I said, we are old now. We are becoming grandfather now. You will need something. And he gave me a huge amount of money. It's like that. I've not seen him. During the time of politics, we were talking practically every day because he would call me, want to know what is going on, to fill political pulse and let him know what's going on. He would also share things with me. After that, we've just spoken for a long time. He would just send things to me on WhatsApp. But I would not put pressure on him to say, you need to talk to me or I need to talk. No, anytime he's ready to talk to me, he'll talk to me. If he doesn't have time. So it's important for you not to put pressure on those that you know. Don't take advantage of the relationship so that they will not see you as an irritant and then start avoiding you.
Who are those you would say shaped your life over the years in terms of your career?
When I was an history student, I read about Napoleon Bonaparte. And one of the things I admire about Napoleon Bonaparte was that this is a man from Corsica, this is just a peasant from Corsica, who rose to become Emperor of France. There was a time he conquered the entire Europe. Then they would say, okay, when Napoleon sleeps, the whole of Europe catches river. And I was intrigued by him. One of his was possibility can only be found in the dictionary of a fool. So that can-do spirit inspired me. And one of the people that I believe that, look, there's nothing that's really impossible if you put your mind to it. Another person that influenced me greatly is Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Again, in politics, I read about him. I admire him, what he did as Premier of Western Region. So when he wanted to be president, I used to campaign. As a young man, I used to go to his campaign offices just to look at him and just feel that this is a man that is great. I would say that somebody that influenced me considerably. Another person is Samuel Adetiba. Because Samuel Adetiba, when I joined Prime People, I was just a young reporter. It was only 1 year experience in journalism and a guy there. But it was one that molded me and inspired me. As a young reporter, he believed in me, created columns for me. He was one that said I should start covering society. He was one that, as a reporter, I was not even an editor, I was just a reporter. But when the editors met then and they decided on the cover for the magazine, you understand? After they left, he would send for me. as a reporter. Someone like this will send for me and discuss those things with me. Say what's my opinion, and I will give my opinion to say, sir, why don't you do this like this, do this like that, do that. So it was the one that gave me that confidence that I can do this thing. So that's why it was easy for me. I became a publisher as news editor. I've not even edited a magazine, but I was already hanging out with things, taking decisions that those top people were taking. So I would say it's somebody that influenced me too. Another person that one is not an influence, but that has great influence on me is my mother, because I am from a polygamous home. My father married 10 wives, so it's each woman to her kids. So I'm very close to my mom, and my mom, because of circumstances at that time, made a lot of sacrifices for our children, especially me. I remember a lot of times that my mother would go hungry just for me to be able to do something, because then maybe I don't have time to see my father, and he just said, don't worry, don't bother about him, you just